Hi, welcome to 3D Leisure at Home. I am just going to do half an hour fitness Pilates with you. If you're joining me today, thanks very much. Just going to be working on core strength and a little bit of mobility and stretch, and again working within your means. So if something feels too difficult, make it a little bit easier or take a rest. Just really all you need is a drink of water and a little mat, and that's it. So not going to waste any time, going to get to it and just warm up a little bit of the body, and then a tiny stretch, and then we work through different exercises. I will give you different variations to each one, and then you can pick which level you want to be at, whatever feels comfortable. But the main aim is to feel good, guys, and hopefully you're all well and going to join me and giving it your all here. So really concentrating on the breathing, so breathing in through the nose and we breathe out through the mouth, and that's it. So we're gonna start, get to it. So want to think about your posture, feet just hip width apart, sink the feet into the floor, sink the shoulders down, hips rotate forward slightly, so we're drawing in the belly button, and just focus on nice and tall back, head up, and lengthening like the top of the head to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, try and sink the shoulders down. So next in breath, we're going to lift the shoulders all the way up, and next out breath, sink the shoulders all the way down, and again going to take them up and down. And on next out breath, I want you to bring the shoulders in and back, and the next out breath, same again, bring the shoulders in and back, and then we want to just stretch the shoulders back. So we're stretching the shoulders back to give a little pinch into the upper back and back, and then next out breath, pinch and release. So we're going to take the feet slightly wider than hip width apart, breathing in, stretching out and coming back up, changing sides, breathing in. So really try and lengthen, in breath through the nose and out, in and out. We'll go one more each side, and then we're going to just lift the arms up. So again, focus on like this little small tilt of the hips, the belly button's drawing in tight, and we're just going to be lifting both arms up to the ceiling, in breath, lengthening the back and the top of the head, stretching up, and out breath coming down. Do that one more time, breathing in, really lift the rib cage, breathing out, and next time lift but sit back on the lift of the arms up to outside the ears, and then back up, and again sitting, breathing in, trying to lengthen the back, tummy pulling up tight, head in line with the spine. And we'll go one more time, and again just sit back and hold this time, so hold. And then we're going to just take the arms out, and we're going to just dig down the elbows on out breath into the ribs, in breath, extend. So you may be feeling this on the legs now, and really squeeze those elbows into the body, breathing in and breathing out. Legs tiring, and breathing out, and then nice and slowly come up. So we're going to roll down, just give a little bit of a curve onto the spine, opening up each vertebrae. So we take a deep breath in through the nose and breathe out, drop the chin down, start to reach down, nice and slowly, arch the back, draw the belly button up, all the way down to the floor, and then when we reach the floor, take a deep breath in and breathe out and arch, draw the belly button up, and lift nice and slow, and roll the shoulders. Give a little squeeze to the shoulders, and again take a deep breath in, same again, drop the chin down, reach down, draw the belly button in, push the back. And nice and slowly on out breath, draw the belly button in, start to lift, pushing the back out and drawing the belly button in, and 3 little rolls of the shoulder. And I have a little visitor here, sorry, there we go. Ollie has just ate his food, so now he looks for his treats. So take a deep breath in, breathe out, roll down. And this time, walk out the hands. You can have your bent legs, walk out into your plank. And again, on the plank, you always want the head not to be dropping down or up. It's just in line. So it's like an extension of your spine. If you think of a pole from the top of the head, right down the back and the bottom. And you're trying to keep nice and level, and then you're going to just push up a little bit to dome now the upper back, so the shoulders are above the hands, the fingers are spread, and if that's too difficult you drop down, so sink down with the hips again, don't have the bottom up. So even if you're on the knees, you are still working nice and hard into the core, and we're just lifting that belly button. And again, if you think of a piece of string from the top of the head to the heels, and then you kind of create like tension on that piece of string, so the head is pushing forward and the heels are pushing back, and you're just drawing up tight on this belly button. Knee option is your easiest. And then we kind of come down on the knees, just sit back into child pose. Allow yourself to come down, head sinking into the mat. And hands can be rested or they can extend out to the front. And then we're going to just come on to our sit bones straight away today. So we're just going to sit, work into the belly button pulling down tight. So hands are forward, chin is up. We take a deep breath in, and on out breath we sink back enough that you feel tension on the belly button drawn down towards the spine, and we lift this chin so we have a space of an apple. We're working extra tight to keep that belly button in, so try and breathe naturally here. Try and squeeze in extra tight. Try and extend the arms forward, and if it's too difficult, come up slightly and have a rest if you need to have a rest, and then come back in. So next out breath, breathe in through the nose, and next out breath, sink down a little bit lower with the back. So this again works extra hard, so you're thinking of the hips drawing into centre as if you're zipping up a little pair of jeans that's too tight. And we go lower on out breath, and only take it in stages to as low as you want to go. And nice tight, and then come up, give a little stretch, and then we're going to do our little just stretch for the back. So we want to sink back and allow the back to curl, get tension onto the arms, and then drop the head down. So this will give you a nice stretch all the way up the spine. And then in breath, we want to draw on the hands, and we want to lift the chest up, flatten the back, and extend the head up to ceiling. So it's almost like a cat-cow onto when you're on fours from seated. So we breathe out, we draw down the belly button, allow the head to sink down, chin down onto chest, and in breath, lift. and really get a good stretch into that back, lengthening the back. Out breath, curling, head down, opening up the vertebrae here. In breath, lifting. And then nice and slowly roll down, all the way down onto the floor. So nice and slowly think of each vertebrae coming down, nice and slow, all the way down until you're on the floor. And then we're going to extend the toes. So we want to be lifting one leg up to hip, toes above and back down. Lift the other leg up. Try and get as straight a leg as possible. Up and back. And then we're going to add in a little crunch here. So we're going to take the hands to the temples, lift the head. Out breath, come up. In breath, down. Out breath, squeeze that belly button in extra tight. So out breath and in. Out and in. And if you have tight hamstrings, you might have a slight bend on the leg. Don't worry too much so long as you feel that you're getting this core to shorten the distance between the chest and the hips. So really rib to hip connection here, so really squeeze it. And then we're going to lift both legs. Hold it. If you want to make this easier, slide the hands under the lower back. We're going to take one leg down and up. So if you have hands up to temples, we are just lowering one leg down and back up. And then to make that harder, we're going to squeeze up and down with upper body. So in breath, leg and chest comes down. Out breath, leg and chest comes up. In breath, out. In and out. So really work hard. If this is too difficult, you can just do a little tap down and a squeeze, a little tap down and a squeeze, a tap and a squeeze with bent legs. And then have a little rest here. Take the hands out, extend the toes, extend the arms, big stretch. So we're going to change that slightly. We want to try and come up onto the sit bones. If you can't come up onto the sit bones, then you will be just reaching up and back down, extending the arms above the head. If you're coming up, the aim is we come all the way up and then we roll. Think of the roll down with the spine. So we breathe out and in, out and in, out and roll. So if you're not coming up, you'll just be reaching up. Breathe in, out and in, out and a roll. Focus on each vertebrae coming down one by one as you come down. So we're rolling. We'll breathe out, getting a squeeze into the belly button. Breathing in, lengthen. Breathe out. Breathe in, out. How are you doing? Feeling it? Excellent. Keep it going. If you need to rest, rest. And just stretch. We're going to take it to two legs. If it's too hard on the two legs coming down and up, then you just stick with singles. If you want to protect your back, you can have the hands under lower back. And if you want to make it a little bit harder, we are just lifting up the chest and the head. So we're just going to take the legs down on in breath and up on out breath with a squeeze. If you don't want to add that extra squeeze, then you can just do legs down and up. Try not to have a space under the back. So if you feel you're arching too much under the back, then just take the hands back under to protect the back. So we're lifting to as high as the feet are above hips. So straight line. So down and an up. If we're coming up with a squeeze, we are squeezing the elbows towards the knees and breathing out. In breath, out. In and out. And bend those legs and have a little stretch. Long toes, long arms, lengthen. Just enjoy this little stretch in between. Breathe. And we're going to take that a little bit harder. If you don't want to make that harder, stick with either. You can stick with just bent legs. It's your workout, so work within your means. So I'm going to have my hands above my head as we come down. So here I'm just lifting up. And as the legs come down, my arms come down. And breathe out, reach up. Breathe in and breathe out. So you can stick with legs coming down one at a time. Hands underneath your lower back. Breathe. Don't hold your breath. Really focus on reaching up to get that little crunch into the tummy. And grab the knees in. Feels so good. So enjoy rolling side to side. Get a little bit of pressure. Sometimes good to do small little circles here. One way and then the other way helps to get a bit of pressure onto the lower back and the sacrum. So it's good even to just kind of even take these little rolls then a little bit bigger. Bring it back. Just to get pressure onto like even each side of your bottom as you roll from side to side. And it's nice just to relax off that lower back. And okay, so we're gonna just grab the knees, roll back and forth, all the way back and up, all the way back and up. And stay up. Nice bit of loosening off to those little nerves running up your spine when you do that little child roll up and down. So we're going to have the legs bent again, and we're just going to take the hands forward, breathe out, slide back, and if you can, take the hands onto the floor. So if this gets too difficult, come up slightly higher. We're going to extend one leg out straight, keeping the tension on the stomach. So we're pulling in and we're lifting the foot off the floor. So on out breath, you drag the knee in breath, you take it back out. So breathe out and in, out and in. And if you feel this too much onto the hip flexor, then you can add a little help with that hand to just draw in and out. So we're trying not to move upper body, we're trying to hold the upper body still. Breathe out and in, and then we're going to just have a little stretch up and sink back on out breath. Get that leg out, get the hands down so they're only resting forward. If the hands are back, that will be easier. So if you feel you need to take the hands back to do this, then just do that until you can build up that strength to just stay with the hands forward. And we're just drawing out breath, in, out and in. So really lengthen on the out, breathe out and in, out and in. Got a little feather stuck on my toe. I always think feathers are a little sign. I like finding little feathers. Push, breathe out and in, out and in. Draw in, lift up in breath, and just sink back to your curl with the head dropping down. Enjoy this spine stretch. And in, lifting up, and out, down. Just going to take that back exactly the same. So same position, out breath, leg is out, hands down. This time we're lifting the leg up and down, so out breath and in. So we're just lifting in line with the knee, no higher, working. And as I said, if it's too difficult, use this hand or even one finger just to kind of help this leg. So breathe out. So you really want to focus, out breath, you're drawing down, out and in, out and in. Although it's a small move, it's really quite tough. And then rest. Lift up, sink back, other leg out, hands down, breathe out and in. Really working hard this morning, or this afternoon I should say. So really squeeze it. If you need to, have your hands back. Just work with what you can manage. Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, and in, and in. 2 to go. And then our little stretch up and relax. So we're going to come into our side plank. So you might want to double up your mat if it hurts your elbows. We're coming onto the elbow. The options are, your first option would be the knee on the floor, and then we're going to drag elbow and knee in and out, coming together. In breath, we reach out, out breath. So that's your first. The second one is one foot is in front of the other. Make sure your shoulder though is directly above your elbow so that there's no pressure. That works as this strong bone to support you. So we are up and then in and out. And if you stack the feet on top of each other, that will be your hardest. So we are aiming to come up to one of your choice, and then we're just going to be out breath and in, out and in. Really extend above the head and crunch. Keep this hip up. If the hip is sinking down as you're drawing in, then just take that knee onto the floor. You want to be working with good technique. Once the hip starts to sink down, you really don't want to be doing that because there's too much pressure. So we're just going to come up, knees to the side, and then I'm just going to take it to a waist stretch. So we're going to come down, hand, and try and come down onto the elbow and then reach across. Now the elbow, the forearm is in a straight line, so not hand forward. Try and have the hand back, and if you can't, then just keep it bent. So we're just down and we're reaching across. Every out breath, try and push down, try and lift the ribs, and the lats will stretch and the waist. And then nice and slowly come up, swivel around to the other side, and again, protection underneath the elbow. So your options was your knee. So we're either breathing out and in, or one foot in front of the other, or one foot stacked on top, which is your hardest. Breathe out, in, out, and in. Ah, time's gone so quick. Really work. Stretch, don't drop down. Really lengthen. Doing so good. Really push. And push yourself up. Bend the legs. And again, so trying to come down onto the elbow to the floor, forearm straight, and reach across. Enjoy, push up the ribs. Ah, stretch above. Feels so good. Really push. And come back up. Bring the feet forward. And we did it last week. So we're just going to try, and if you need to have the hands behind, you can have the hands behind, and we're just doing an out breath and an in. If you're holding higher up the leg, it'll be easier, not easier than behind, but to do your outs and in. If you're holding lower, it'll be harder because you have a bigger stretch to come on here. So we're breathing in and breathing out. In, but you want to slow it right down. Really push the chest up as the legs come out. So we're breathing out and in. And lengthen. So good. Really stretch. You can bring the legs in and out if you want. So up and out. Or the hands can be grounded on the floor behind. And bring those knees in and just drop the legs to a sitting comfortable position. So we're going to do a little spine twist, just to a spine rotation, just to stretch out the spine. So we want to be putting one opposite hand over the knee, the other hand planted behind. And then as you breathe out, lift the chest and breathe out and twist round. If this hurts the neck, don't twist the neck as much, just twist the torso. Really try to push back on out breath. Drawing on this outer knee to assist you to twist back further. And coming back, other hand on, hand behind, lift the chest, out breath, twist. Only work within a comfortable range, so it should always be pain-free. And you work on every out breath to try and increase the stretch. So we've stretched the waist. We're doing a little spine rotation here. And then we're just going to bring one leg in bent and bring the other leg over the top. And we're just going to either have the hand pushing, or you can grab the outer thigh, and we're stretching, so this gives you a little bit more into the outer thigh stretch. Out breath. Twisting back and come back, change legs, so you can have the leg just sitting to the front if it's too uncomfortable, or bring the leg over, hand over, and you can have just a straight down to the front, or you can have a hug. Breathe out, push back, and in a couple of minutes over, but I just want to stretch out. Straight legs into our hinge, forward from the hips. So we lift so the hips are lifted, the chest is lifted and the hips are hinging. So we breathe in and we hinge, lift and push down. And again, lift and push, and lift and push. And then allow your back to curl here, allow the hands to come down, either onto the floor, around your feet, onto the legs. Just allow the back to curl, and then slowly just allow your head now to drop right down. And you feel the stretch now down the spine, down the neck. If it's too uncomfortable, don't tip the head down as much. And allow yourself to sink lower. Really focus on your breathing, that you're not holding your breath. And you're trying to come as low as possible and the head is dropping down. And nice and slowly come back up, roll up, and let's just give that little neck a tiny stretch and you're done. So dropping the head over, pushing the palms down, fingertips to the floor on the opposite side or palm. Drop the head over, we feel this nice stretch down the neck and shoulders into the traps. You can assist if you need to get a little bit more of a stretch as long as it's pain-free. Head over to the other side, out breath, push down, in breath, hold, out breath, push down, and in breath, hold, out breath, you can ease down. And well done team, hope you enjoyed today and you work through those to your own level, and hopefully join me next week. Have a fabulous weekend. It is Happy Friday, and we shall see you, well I shall see you next week, hopefully for Fat Burn Extreme on Thursday at 8 in the morning, and if not for this fitness Pilates, if you're doing catch up. Hope you enjoyed that, and take care, have a fabulous day and a great weekend. Thanks so much, bye.